Back on the show is Calvin Kattar, who's going to be taking on Shane Burgos at UFC 220 on January 20th. Calvin, what's going on? How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. It's good to talk to you again, and it was good to meet you back in July. Of course, at that point, you weren't a member of the UFC roster, but it was still kind of neat to get to see you there because you were supporting your teammate there, Rob Font, and that's where you're actually at right now. How was training this morning?
Training's going great. Just following the process, the system in place that Rob's had for most of his career now. I'm just kind of tagging along. Mostly what I did. It was a great experience following him for went to England, Vegas, a couple fights. I got to see behind the scenes, really break the ice before I got that short notice opportunity. So it was nice. I felt like I'd been there before, and it helped really prepare me for that.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Fighters that corner, that partake in the fight week, it kind of takes away some of the jitters, and it certainly seemed that way, man. We got to talk about your UFC debut. Andre Fili, you were, I don't know if you were aware of this, but you were like a plus 300 underdog in that fight. Do you feel like maybe he overlooked you a little bit in that fight as well, just with the fact that you went out there and dominated him?
I don't know if he so much overlooked me. I think that's kind of how he put it out there, that, he was real confident. But I think he knew what he was up against, even though it was a short notice. It's really tough to be in those shoes as well. Sometimes you get a last-second replacement. You don't really know how to prepare for that as well. I've had that happen to me as well. On the surface, though, you're going to be calm and ready and still go through with the interviews. But I think we both knew we were in for a fight. I don't think it was a plus 300 fight. I'd say it was more like a 50-50, but I went out and, I was happy. I came out with a good game plan. I had Rob, the whole weekend out there supporting me just like I was out there supporting him. I had Tyson, just putting together a good game plan, and everything just felt right,
How did you celebrate after that fight? That must have been a pretty good, post-fight, victory.
Champagne showers. Rob had already started it before I got there, and I just caught up the rest of the night.
Excellent. Good stuff, man.
It was a beautiful thing. I had a good amount of my family out there, believe it or not. They made the trip. I was very happy to have that type of support out there. And I tried not paying attention too much to what was going on. I was very, very focused, especially in that short amount of time. We had a lot of work to do. But I was seeing a lot of good things back home, support. Felt good, man. And I was happy I was able to deliver.
Did your friends win any money betting on you at all? Because, again, I mentioned the odds. I mean, someone must have won some good money on you during that fight.
Yeah, they made more than I did. I'll tell you that. I was on my way out back after the fight. Some guy grabs me halfway out of the cage, and he's like, "I just made $2,000 off you." I was screaming. I was all amped up, but no, everyone. Hey, so that's why I told him, I go, I made you money on this one, but these guys are crazy, man. They got to chill out.
Yeah, no, for sure. Was there any feedback from the UFC after that win? Because again, you took out a really tough guy in Andre Fili.
Not so much, man. I try to say thank you for the opportunity as much as I could. I was real dialed in before. Afterwards, it was just kind of like I got some good reciprocation from some of the guys out back, but I definitely did want to extend my thank you to the opportunity to Sean Shelby for reaching out. It was a big opportunity, like you'd said. I was out Monday after Rob's trip, 8 days in Vegas. I was playing the front nine. It was early. I got a text, and I was like, man. All right, looks like we're flying to Cali.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Of course, now you got this big fight coming up here with Shane Burgos, who's undefeated. How do you feel like you match up against him in this fight? I
think it's a good fight, man. I think it's a very good fight. I'm ready for this type of test, this type of fight. It's gonna be a tough fight. Shane's a tough kid. He's obviously done everything he's had to do with everybody who stepped foot in there with him before. But I don't think he's faced anybody like me yet. And I'm just excited for the opportunity. Right now, I feel like I'm playing with house money. And I'm in my backyard, so it was a dangerous combo. I'm excited to go out and just put on a show.
And I was going to say, does it kind of add a bit more with the fact that, Shane's a New Jersey, New York guy, and you're a Boston guy, that rivalry goes back, dating back to, the baseball days and everything. Does that kind of add a little bit more to this fight?
Yeah, for sure. But for sure, I mean, I'm sure you got a little taste of that. I'm sure the promoters would like to promote that. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit if the guys from Boston step across from me. I'm trying to kill him, So
yeah.
Regardless, I don't care where he's from. I'm just excited to go out there. I have a tough test ahead of me. I'm excited to go put it on the line in front of everybody I've ever met and go have some fun out there, man. We signed up for this. This is good pressure, good opportunity. I'm excited, man.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome. I talked to Rob Font, just a little bit ago, and I know you guys are training over at Lowes MMA. How has that transition been, training over there and working with some of the guys over there?
It's been great. Joe's in open arms. Everybody here couldn't be more helpful. really picking their brains. I'm around a lot of talented people right now, and I can tell I'm trying to be like a sponge, stay open-minded, and absorb as much as I can from now until the fight. So I'm constantly learning every day. It's overwhelming, but I'm excited, man. I'm soaking it all in, and I'm going to go out and perform come fight night, January 20th.
Now, with the fact that this fight's on the 20th, does the weight cut process, does that start now, or do you do that closer to fight time?
Tell you what, it's a lot better than 2 weeks. So if I know I can make it in 2 weeks, I know I can make it in 10. So I just start slow. Just, as soon as I know I got a fight book, it's hard for me to eat shit. I can't lie to myself. So I know I'm going out eating. It's easy to just do the routine. I eat for numbers. I don't really eat for taste, So it's more important to me to get the benefits I need from the foods I'm eating, and I'll worry about the taste and all the fun stuff after the fight. That way for me.
So how does Christmas dinner work? Do you just put everything in the freezer and then have it after, or how do you go about Christmas this year with the fact the fight's so close?
I love it. No. I'm gonna make my family suit back up, dress up, put on the suit and tie, and have Christmas and Thanksgiving. You better believe it. Again after the fight.
Where do you feel like a win over a Shane Burgos sort of puts you in the division? Because, Burgos is undefeated. He's been on a bit of a roll, and you could sort of steal his thunder in a way because he's had a couple fights in the UFC already.
I just know it takes me one step closer to where I want to be, but I'll let the UFC decide, firm things on that. But all I know is a win over him will get my name a little bit more out there. I feel like everybody that's going to be in attendance that night, for the most part, is going to have an idea who I am. I'm looking to spread that, to everybody watching at home. So I'm just going to go out, put a good show on for the fans, and just be happy personally with my performance. Those are my goals. Put on a show and personally be happy with how well I go out there and perform, because I know how I can, and I just want to go out there and do what I know I can do.
What are you watching on TV right now? You watching any Netflix or Hulu or anything like that right now during training camp?
Similar to Rob, I'm in the zone right now. I can't even keep up. I'll catch whatever's on at the time. I'm a big Patriots fan. I just caught the end of the Steelers game the other day when we finished. I know you're not a Patriots fan, though, Hollins. You're a Seattle fan, aren't you?
I am, yeah. You have a good memory because I grew up in Vancouver, so we always have to cheer for the Seattle teams because they're the closest team, right? So.
Of course, man. I don't want to take too many jabs at you, man, because I like you, but
we don't have to talk about that. I don't know why Russell Wilson was in that game for so long.
Come to the dark side.
Nah, I can't do that, man. I can't be a bandwagoner. You got to ride or die. It's like the Canucks too. They're awful this season, but you got to support them. They lost last night too. So
I respect that.
Certainly got to check out this fight, man. It's UFC 220 coming up here January 20th. Calvin, it's good to catch up with you again, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, the floor is yours.
For sure. Thanks for having me on. Thanks to Top Game Management for helping me out, getting me where I am and where we're going to be. Thanks to my teammates, Rob Font specifically, Kyle on the card, Rob on the card. I'm excited about going to battle with my team. And then everyone at Lowes MMA, 617 Fight Sports, my coach Carlos Neto. Been there since day one. You can find me at social media, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all under Calvin Kattar. Come out, check out the fight. See me and my buddies get our hand raised January 20th in our hometown Boston. You're not going to want to miss it.